In the meantime, here's a sign that you are getting things done when the world shudders and not only calls you, but tries to make nice with you. Reports now that Apple is considering making its iPhones in the U.S. This is something that Donald Trump bemoaned during the campaign. The companies like Apple were getting away with sort of labor murder here by hiring workers abroad to make all of these fancy gadgets at a fraction of the pay, and wanted to bring those jobs back to the United States. To Trump economic advisor Steve Moore on that. Steve, what do you make of that?
We're making America great again already. Look, I think it's a great development. I want as many jobs here in the United States as possible, and if we can produce things here through a tax and regulatory climate that makes it an incentive-based system where we're the most productive in the world, fantastic. And by the way, this dovetails on your previous conversation about those rising interest rates. And I want to reiterate this point because I feel very strongly about it. I think the reason these interest rates are rising is a bullish sign that people want to invest in America again. They want to buy dollars. They want to invest. There's a more demand for capital. That's a good reason for interest rates to rise, especially when the stock market has been generally rising at the same time. I think this is an indication that Wall Street and Main Street businesses understand, hey, there's a new sheriff in town, and it's going to be more pro-business.
All right, I'm going to give you the half-empty glass version of that from some economists. And here's what they say, and you can refute this and feel free, that they don't think Donald Trump's going to be very serious about spending, that they think he's going to make deficits worse, the debt will be worse, that he's got infrastructure spending in the works. No matter how he comes about, there won't be the money for it, so he'll go into the red, you say. What?
Well, let me just, even if all that were true, I don't believe a word of it, but let's say that the deficits were going to go up. I mean, look, we've just had a president for 8 years that borrowed $10 trillion. Now, what happened over that period to interest rates, Neil? Did they go up or down?
Very good point.
Right? So, I mean,
but
show me the relationship
Steve Moore,
between
one of the most important number thinkers, economists, you name it, on the planet, is not worried about the debt. You are.
Of course I am. No, of course I am worried about the debt. And look, Donald Trump, I've been spending some time with the transition team people. I mean, we're going to cut spending, I guarantee you. These agencies, we've found so much waste. I mean, I'll just give you one example. You know, a new report just came out recently from the Medicare agency that finds over $50 billion of wasteful, fraudulent payments that are made by Medicare. Now, can you imagine a private company having a 12.5% fraud rate? You know, I looked at Visa and American Express. They're at 0.5%, and we got fraud rates at the food stamps office, at Medicare, that are 10, 12, 15%.
But they're never able to leverage off that and get it. You know what I mean?
That's because nobody took it seriously.
All right.
I mean, nobody in Washington has taken this stuff seriously until, I mean, hopefully, look, I'm hoping, I'm keeping my fingers crossed, this president is going to make a real commitment to running government as a business. I think that's a big reason he won this election. We're tired of career politicians, somebody who knows how to cut expenses, meet a payroll, and make a profit. And so, look, I think we are going to get this debt under control, but we're going to grow the economy. Neil, if you want to bring the debt burden down, you've got to get growth up to 4%. You're never going to bring the deficit down at 1.5% growth, is what we've had for the last year. We got to get to 4% growth, and we have a plan on energy, health care, and regulation that's going to do that. And that's why interest rates are rising, because people want to buy into America now. It's a great time to be in the stock market. Great time.
All right. Are you going to be in that administration?
I will do whatever Donald Trump wants me to do. I've had the time of my life working with him, and but I want to stay with you, Neil, here at Fox.
I can't blame you. But what about all these Wall Streeters? Jamie Dimon rumored for Treasury.
Great. I like Jamie Dimon. Steve
You know
Mnuchin.
who the person is, don't you?
I know Jamie Dimon. I know.
No, I think you know who the next Treasury Secretary is. You're just not telling me.
No, I mean, I think that I'm hearing, my friend Steve Mnuchin, who I worked with on the tax bill.
I think you know. You're blinking very fast. I think you know.
Right. If I knew, you'd be the first to know. Yeah.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. He is a power broker in his own right. Steve Moore has the ear of the president-elect.